I've had a copper farm in my hardcore Minecraft world since before copper was added, because I built an Ilmango based drown farm for tridents. So since copper was added, I've just been using that for my farm. And now 1.21 brought in a couple new copper block variants for the trial chambers. So far in this series, I've shown you my one wide tileable auto crafters for iron, bamboo, and wood farms. So now let's go over all the auto crafters for the output of a drown farm. But for all the copper items, remember, you will still need to age them or wax them separately. Here we are on the world download. It's Thanksgiving soon. I got on my turkey sweater. But let's head over to the copper auto crafters. Over here, you can see it exactly how I have it laid out in hardcore. On the right-hand side is the simple stuff. This is just an item filter with a shulker loader for all of these drops. And then we have the bone meal goes into bone blocks. If you want to see the other possible items you can craft out of bone meal, ask me in the comments to do my moss farm next. Because remember, I designed all of these in hardcore Minecraft live on stream, and they're in my hardcore world first, and I'm pulling them out and adding them to the world download to show you guys and explain how they work. So before the items go over to these filters, I would have had a separate filter to pull all the copper out and throw it this way. Where we get copper ingots is just going to fill up 3 shulker boxes. Then it's going to go over and to these auto crafters where it's going to make 3 shulker boxes of lightning rods, and then doors, and then trap doors, and those all use the same design. And the next one is going to have cut copper and copper grates together using the same design. Then next, with 3 auto crafters, it's going to make us cut copper stairs and slabs. Then this one takes 4 crafters to make us chiseled copper. And lastly, once all of those are full, it'll come over here and make copper blocks and shulker load them. So let's go over the first design together. This is the one that can turn copper ingots into lightning rods, doors, and trap doors. It's going to start up here at the top and work its way down. The items are just going to flow into this crafter, which you can put in any of those 3 patterns. It will detect once it is full using this standard design that I've used in a lot of them. When that pulses, it will craft, and it's going to come in at a reasonable speed and not be too fast or too slow, and it'll come down and fill up the items. Once the items have filled up and there's stuff stuck in this hopper, we get the signal through that carries through and around and to the top and powers this dropper, which locks this hopper and does not allow more items into the crafter. Then all you got to do to start it again is take your shulker box or take something out of the shulker box, and it'll automatically kick back on as long as there's more copper feeding into it. So the second design here takes copper ingots and turns it into cut copper or copper grates. We're going to start up here at the top where the copper flows down into the first auto crafter and makes copper blocks. And then the copper blocks are going to come down and make your desired output. And that will come down into here, filling up the shulker boxes. And once there are items stuck in this hopper, that means everything's full. It will turn off. So this one works exactly the same as the last one, but it has 2 of them stacked on top of each other, basically. So it waits for this crafter to have 9 items in it. That'll update here and send the signal back over, sending a copper block out. And then when this one gets full up with copper blocks, it'll do the same thing and send a signal over and pulse here, sending out your output item. And we have the same loop here from the comparators to the repeaters to the torches over to the top, powering the dropper, thus locking this hopper and stopping more items from coming in. So our next design here takes iron ingots and turns them into cut copper stairs or slabs. This is going to let the copper come in at the top, go down into here and make copper blocks. That's going to come on down and over into this and make your cut copper. The cut copper will come down into this crafter and craft your stairs and come down into these items. So this one is a lot like the last one, where the first one is it's exactly the same setup here, waiting for this to get 9 ingots to make your copper block. So this one comes down and over, and it does that so that we can save a little bit on height, because I didn't want to make this room taller to fit the extra crafters in. So it comes over sideways into here, but into the exact same setup that we have, where it waits for this to fill up with copper blocks, and that's going to output your cut copper down to here. The cut copper, though, is going to go into here, and because this can't ever accidentally craft anything else, it doesn't have a full detector. It just has a clock here that is going to retract when this is empty, and that will allow this to just be pulsed continuously until it is full. So this will wait for this hopper to be empty, and when it is empty, that signal will come over and it'll retract this, get that timer going, and it'll go all the way over to the top again and unlock this hopper, so allowing items down into the crafter. This is the most complex one for the copper farm. It takes copper ingots and makes chiseled copper out of it. So we go up to the top and we see it flows in and makes copper blocks, and it goes down to make the cut copper. From there, it goes down to make the slabs, exactly the same as the last one, but there is another crafter underneath, and that's going to take the slabs and make it into chiseled copper. So this one is almost exactly the same as that one, just a little bit of reshifting here at the bottom to fit this extra crafter in, but the principle is the same. It takes ingots into here, waits for it to fill up and pulses that. Then it takes the blocks into here, waits for it to fill up and pulses that. And then it comes down, and once these are empty, this will be pulsing, and it will pulse both of these crafters continuously. And the reason that was decided rather than the fullness detector of any kind is because this will output more slabs than this one can use in a single craft session. So this one needs pulsed 3 times for every time that one crafts, but because it's so slow coming in, we can just pulse them together. And then we have the same exact ordeal where once this is empty, this will retract, starting that to be pulsed, and it'll send the signal up and around, allowing items down into the top. Lastly is our bulk storage of copper into copper blocks that are shulker loaded. This one is super simple, where we take it from the top into a single auto crafter for blocks, which uses a fullness detector, a more compact one even this time around. And then we come through here and it comes down and it goes into a standard shulker loader, the designed by Kale that I always use. Also, I want to note this is more compact because this one here allows it to be pulsed twice, and there won't be an issue with it pulsing twice. The other ones, oh no. All right, I'm starting to use Axiom, and I need to turn off Infinite Reach. The other ones can't have it be pulsed twice in certain scenarios, so I tend to use the more resource-intensive one for just to be safe. But this one, I know for a fact, is fine like this, unless they ever add copper pressure plates. So the last autocrafter we have is the only non-copper autocrafter that we have, and it takes bone meal into bone blocks and shulker loads them. So at the top here, we get the bone meal in, it goes through the item filter, and that brings it down into here into a standard autocrafter. Exactly the same setup as we have over here below that. So it's going to take this condensed autocrafter full detector and take the 9 bone meal into blocks, send that down and over into the same shulker loader by Kale. That shulker loader is going to bring it down over here, and then you have your double chests of shulker boxes of bone blocks. So that's everything you need to know on how to autocraft everything from a copper farm or a drowned farm. And if you like the video, make sure you subscribe for more, because I will be releasing more of these on other farms that I've made for my hardcore world. And then make sure you leave a like if you liked it as well. So the world download I'm in right now will be linked in the description. You can see here it's got the copper auto crafters, but it's got all the other ones that I've designed too, and you can go watch the videos on those if you'd like. Just want to end by saying thank you to all my monthly supporters over here. You guys are absolutely amazing. I couldn't do this without your support. Thank you very much.